We have seen in the last 4 months, unfortunately, a lot of actions happening. I would like to just share with you the emerging trends in retail. Before highlighting on this, I just wanted to present to you that we have got retail which is divided into two parts. One is organized retail and unorganized retail. Organized retail consists of all the modern formats. To give you an example, be it Big Bazaar, D-Mart, you have the Spencer's, Star Bazaar, Reliance, and so on and so forth. And the unorganized are the local Kirana shops. Now the impact has been felt across pan-India in retail sector. So I would like to highlight to you what are the trends in retail and how the impact has been felt and what are the positive outcomes and the negative outcomes and the way forward. So first and foremost, I would like to brush you through a couple of articles. I will be highlighting on some of the key articles which are mentioned over here. So you can go through the headlines of each and every article. So the first one is consumers ordeal worsens as e-grocers blame local crackdown. So you can go through the headlines and the key points over here, like FMCG sales stay positive in times of restricted living. Supply of essentials, there's been a lot of staff shortage threatened and companies' operations have got impacted in this ordeal. E-tail to take $1 billion hit in this lockdown. The FMCG companies run into logistics trouble. Retailers bulk deliver to RWAs for smooth supply to societies. RWA is an acronym for Resident and Welfare Associations. So every societies do have these RWAs and the retailers tend to do bulk delivery to them to cater to the needs of the residents who are staying in the society. The next one is impulse foods fly off shelves on lack of clarity over government notifications. Impulse purchase are the purchase which without even a second thought the consumers tend to buy, and most importantly they are much more in demand because of this COVID-19. If I have to give an example, the Maggi, the biscuits, these are all impulse buys and this is what has really taken off very well across retail. Stock situations in dire, this is primarily due to the gap in the supply chain management. Mounting orders and staff crunch stretch e-grocers. So we have been consistently seeing the same issue across all, wherein there has been an impact due to the supply chain as well as the manpower crunch. We also see that restaurants, cinemas and retailers at malls seek zero rentals. Unfortunately, there has been no footfalls in the shops and that's the reason even the retailers have tended to negotiate with the owners in waiving off the rent. The firms join hands to deliver the groceries. The Kirana stores come to rescue of consumers. Kirana is also called as the local mom and pop stores, which is there in each and every catchment across India. They have come to a big rescue to the consumers, which also avoids the residents traveling from place A to place B. If it is there in your own catchment, the Kirana shops, it caters to all your needs. Companies work on transforming to an online delivery model. The retailers, wholesalers come up with strategies for swift delivery of essentials. Flipkart looking at ties with retail chains, FMCG giants. Flipkart, as we all know, have been more into selling of non-essentials, especially the electronics, which constitute close to about 60 to 65% of their sales. However, they have tied up with the retail chains to ensure the grocery also connects to the end consumers. COVID-19 crisis is pushing big offline retailers online. Friendly neighborhood Superman, organized retailers, wholesalers go the extra mile. When we say the go the extra mile, it also means that they have also extended their hands to do the doorstep deliveries. The next one is that everyone wants to be a retailer amid e-commerce exemption. We know that consumers cannot go out is because of the lockdowns. However, we have the e-commerce retailers have tried the level best to connect to the end consumers at home itself. The non-essentials removed from e-commerce cart, obviously, because the government also entails that we need to emphasize more on the essentials. The smaller brands give top FMCG companies a big fight. We know the big companies like HUL, P&G, ITC, they have been a lot of impact with the supply chain as well as with the production because of lack of manpower. Hence, a lot of local brands which have been produced locally has taken up into the shelves. FMCG firms ride on delivery applications to break the lockdown. Unfortunately, there has been counterfeits, FMCG majors fear counterfeits, calling forensic investigators. So there have been a lot of local brands which have been made locally, but not up to the mark of the global standards. Amazon launches scheme to enable Kirana shops, offline retailers sell online. Most see no silver lining in e-commerce, COVID-19 saga. Non-essentials delivery node firms are upbeat. We can see a lot of cab aggregators and the bike aggregators have pitched in to the delivery of the essentials. Indian FMCG companies take a new turn as virus shows the way. If you read the top line, it mentions, the top companies like ITC, Dabur, Marico and Godrej, they launch over 3 dozen products to cash in on the increased consumer awareness around hygiene as sales of hand. So here the USP has been the immune boosters as well as on the hygiene factors. FMCG companies to take direct route to consumers' home. Firms gear up for change in consumer behavior in post-COVID-19. If you see the key points by Mr. Mohit, he mentions that we are seeing a 30 to 40% surge in our health and wellness products like I mentioned to you. When I say immune boosters, especially the Chyawanprash, honey, the turmeric, these are the immune boosters which has been well accepted now and has ensured a huge spike in the sales. As I said earlier also, retailers in-house brands surge because the brands like P&G, ITC, HUL could not connect it to the retails and unfortunately they could not connect to the end consumers and hence the local brands have taken their space. So with eating out in containment, home comes the indulgences. So a lot of people have been indulging at home now. Mission accomplished, saving private labels in COVID season. So as I mentioned to you earlier, the private label has really taken a lot of space in the shelves. FMCG to apparel discounts to make a comeback soon. I believe this is the only way to revive and our consumers should come back. As India marched to stock up, stores saw bumper sales. So whenever there is a lockdown which is highlighted, there has been always a chaos and people tend to buy a lot of substance in very less time. As I said, immunity products in demand. So if you see the immunity boosters, especially the Dabur, Himalaya, they are in demand. Malls also offer rent one get one offer, like how we have in products. The malls, the stores which are there in the malls have negotiated with the owners for a waive off on the rent. One of them has been this way also, wherein the owner tends to give one plus one offer, kind of you pay for a month and the next month is free. The malls, cinemas and retail shops may get to open at night in green zones. This is just a thought but not yet implemented. We have the emerging patterns. Now which sector will bounce back fast, which will not. So this article mentions about that. Online demand for non-essentials items are very low. Staffing the last mile challenging as orders pick up. As the demands surge up, unfortunately that much manpower is not there to cater to needs of all the end consumers. Malls are e-tailing home delivery, could affect home consumption, price of household grocery. And last but not the least, E-grocery may clock close to about $3 billion sales. So e-grocery alone close to about 300 crores dollars. So that comes to close to about 24,000 crores approximately. The first and foremost, there has been a tremendous displacement of migrant laborers. Now, unfortunately, once the COVID-19 got set in, lot of laborers lost their job. They had to migrate, they had to move back to their respective hometowns because they could not afford for the basic living, be it food or be it shelter. Due to this displacement of migrant laborers, there has been a huge gap in the supply chain management which has got impacted badly. It has also impacted the manufacturing units because migrant laborers constitute a huge chunk of workforce. The next point is the supply chain getting impacted. The movement from warehouses has become intermittent with no truckers and handlers, and transportation of goods have been stalled. We saw once the lockdown got set in, there has been a tremendous impact on the supply chain management. Our basic needs could not get connected from the manufacturing unit to the warehouses and from the warehouse to the retail outlets. Due to which, the third point is the deliveries getting delayed. As there has been a gap, first in terms of displacement of migrant laborers, the second one in terms of supply chain and delay in the deliveries. The next point is the orders getting cancelled. Once the consumers order on Big Basket or Grofers or any other online portal, due to the huge demand, there has been a lot of gap in terms of supply, and hence they could not cater and the orders have got cancelled. The next one is the slots not getting available in case of online deliveries. As the consumers migrated from offline shopping to online shopping, we saw that huge consumers had to do online shopping, and hence they were unable to get the available slots, due to which it has also resulted in the orders getting cancelled. The next point is the sales at the stores inside the malls take a hit. This was bound to happen as due to the lockdown all the malls got closed. Stores which is inside the malls unfortunately also took a hit. The next point is the FMCG majors fear counterfeits and the fake products, which I had shown you in one of the article, wherein a lot of local players have tend to bridge the gap by producing some local brands, unfortunately some of which are counterfeits or fake products. The next one is the discretionary spending to be hit. Example, fashion sales, eating out, watching movies, leisure, traveling, etc. Everything has got impacted big time. The next point is, what are the few solutions due in this COVID-19 what we have got? Most of the owners have tended to waive off the rent, or they have given an offer of rent one and get 1 month free, and the other incentives to retailers. This is the only way to retain the shops which is in place in the malls. The cab and bike taxi aggregators joining hands with retail chains. So we saw Ola, we saw Uber, bike aggregators like Rapido, Dunzo. They also got into delivering the essential goods to the end consumers. Grofers were giving on-ground staffs essentials at the end of the day, apart from regular pay, to keep them motivated and incentivizing differently. So what we saw, just to boost the morale of the employees who were working day in and out, we had to incentivize them and keep them motivated. So there were different ways of motivation boosters. One of them was to give them also the essentials at the end of the day. People also bought bigger packs owing to fewer trips to the stores and restricted timings, as repeated movement to the stores was not possible by the end consumers. We saw that most of the people tended to buy a larger packs which last for much longer time. We also saw a private brands a big rescue and sales up, because there were a lot of gaps by the big brands, be it HUL, ITC, PNG, Dabur. So we saw that private brands really pitching very well, and it came as a big rescue. Let's see what are the positive impacts because of this COVID. We saw that e-grocery may clock $3 billion sales. Indian e-commerce expected to grow 6% to about 3 lakh crore this year. This was bound to happen. We, as I mentioned to you earlier, we have the organized retailing and unorganized retailing. In organized retailing, we have the offline stores as well as the online stores. In the online stores, we saw that this is the figures what we can look at. The Big Basket was doing on an average close to about 1.5 lakh orders per day, and because of the huge demand on online platform, it went to 3 lakh orders per day, which is phenomenally very high. The COVID-19 started, we saw 2x jump in the first week of lockdown. This was bound to happen. It's because of the chaos and fear of missing out, and we saw that it was a 2x jump in the first few weeks, and eventually it reduced slightly as consumers are buying what they really need instead of stocking up excessively. Kirana stores comes to rescue of consumers. E-tailers struggle to keep pace with demand. So we saw that the local mom and pop stores which is there in each and every catchment, they came to a great rescue and could meet the demands of the end consumers. So we saw the tremendous flip or spike in the Kirana sales. And as I mentioned earlier also, the bulk delivery to RWAs. RWAs is the residential and welfare associations. In every societies we have RWAs. So the retailers tended to form a big chunk of truckload and deliver it to RWAs. To give you an example, DMart did this as a pilot testing which was very successful, and which other modern retailers also implemented it. Other key points, positive impacts which is being continued. Now, essential commodities getting connected on priority. We saw that in the initial first few weeks there was a lot of chaos and there were a lot of stock gaps. Eventually it got sorted. Sales spiked up in hygiene products, staples and processed food. We know that there has been a tremendous demand of hand sanitizer, hand wash. And when I say of processed food, I mean the biscuits, the category, and the Maggi category, the instant noodles category, and so on and so forth. So we saw a huge spike in hand sanitizers, floor and surface cleaners, disinfectant sprays, immunity building products, especially the Chyawanprash, honey and the turmeric. So we saw there was a huge demand because we have to develop our own immunity too. Basket size has gone up. This was bound to happen because of chaotic buy. So 30 to 50% increase in the average bill size we saw in the March 2020 as compared to Feb. OOH is the out of house experiences may now pave the way for more in-home consumption movement. So we saw that initially it was more of going out on the weekends and trying something new, but now I believe that has given way for the home consumption movements. The last point is the malls will see better reception because they can be trusted to provide a more hygienic and controlled environment compared to open market. So you have seen when people tend to go to the malls, there are various checks which happens right from the beginning. They have the thermal screening check, and also they have ensured the hand sanitizer sprays are there at multiple points, and that's the reason I believe the consumers will have more trust on the malls going forward. These are the other articles. So this is the new normal which we have seen basically. Now how will the Indian customers shop? How will the Indian customers behave? BCG growth share matrix. BCG stands for Boston Consulting Group, and they have made this matrix. So first and foremost, I would like all of you to have a look at this slide for a minute. Alright, so once you have a look at this slide, you will be able to see 4 key components on this slide. On the top, it is mentioned the relative market share, and here we have the market growth rate. Now what does this each and every component signify? To make you understand much better, we have the star, we have the question mark, we have the cow, and we have the dog. So to remember which is placed in which quadrant is very simple. Animals are grounded, so you will always find them at the bottom. So you have the cow, you have the dog. Star is a star which is always on the top, and you have the question mark. So there is no scope of forgetting that which falls in which quadrant. So we have the star, we have the question mark, we have the cow, and we have the dog. Now what does each and every component signify? Before that, I would also like you to have a look at that word, which is relative market share and the market growth rate. We have the high relative market share on the left hand side, the low relative market share and high market growth rate on the right. We have the low market growth rate and high relative market share on the left hand side of the quadrant at the bottom, and at the right hand bottom we have the low relative market share and the low market growth rate. We need to understand what each and every component means. This is an explanation. I have placed the diagram on the right hand side, so it's easy for you all to decipher. This is the explanation. First and foremost, we will go and understand what does star mean. It's very simple. Like as I mentioned to you, it's a high market growth and high relative market share. So they often need heavy investment to finance their rapid growth. Eventually, their growth will slow down and they will turn into cash cows. So to make you understand much better way, so if you see over here, we have the star, which has the high relative market share and the high market growth rate, which comes on the left hand side of the quadrant on the topmost. Because it's a star, it signifies it's a star, it means that it's doing very well in the market, and to sustain over here it requires a lot of finance. Alright, so as I was explaining to you, the star falls on the left hand quadrant on the upper side. As it is a star, it requires a huge amount of finance to sustain itself, but over a period of time they tend to become a cash cow, wherein it's having a high relative market share, but over a period of time it tends to degrow. The next one we have the cash cows. If you see on the bottom side, bottom quadrant, it is the cash cow, which signifies low market growth and high market share. So these establishments or these established and successful SBUs are strategic business units. They need less investment to hold their market share. Thus they produce a lot of cash that the company uses to pay its bills and to support other SBUs that need investment. So basically, we need to understand in this kind of quadrant, it does not require a huge investment. With the low investment, it can sustain itself, and basically, as it's a cash cow, they keep producing a lot of cash, which can cater to take care of the other SBUs. The next one is the question mark. After this slide, I'll be showing you an example which will be easy for you to correlate what exactly each quadrant means. We can go to the next quadrant, that is the question mark, which is on the topmost right hand side. Again, here it is a high market growth and low market share. Now they require a lot of cash to hold their share, let alone increase it. Management has to think hard about which question marks it should try to build into stars and which should be phased out. So basically, when we are in the question mark quadrant, we need to decide which will move over here or which will move towards the bottom. So basically, they require a lot of cash to hold, which is not possible over a long period of time, and hence the management has to think through and decide which one will move into the star quadrant or they move into the dog quadrant. The next one is the dogs, in which it has got the low market growth and the low market share. They may generate enough cash to maintain or sustain themselves, but do not promise to be a larger source of cash. So ultimately, it is exactly the opposite of the star. We will give you an example which you should be able to correlate. When I had mentioned to you that this is the high market growth rate and relative market share, when I say iPhones and when I say Apple Watch, so they fall in this quadrant of star, wherein it signifies a high market growth rate as well as high relative market share. Eventually, these were also stars, the MacBooks and the iMacs, but eventually they have moved into this quadrant, and this quadrant is the cash cow. The next one is the Apple TV, HomePods, music, which you can see that they have the low market growth rate, the low relative market share as well as the high market growth rate. And the last and foremost is the iPad, wherein it has got low relative market share as well as low growth. So I have mentioned the diagram over there, and you can connect once again over here, and you can correlate it in a much better way. Stars. So if you see that they are having the high market growth and high market share. So if you see iPhones and Apple Watch, they are sustaining still in the market. Do they require a lot of finance to sustain themselves? But eventually they will also move to the bottom quadrant, which is where the MacBooks and iMacs are right now. The cash cows, which I mentioned to you, were once upon a time stars, which were doing very well in the market. The demand was very high, but eventually it moved down to the cash cow quadrant, and they just generate a lot of money for the other SBUs to be taken care of. We have question mark, which is on the upper right hand side, where the Apple TV, HomePods and music is. Eventually, some of the gadgets will move into the star quadrant, some will move into the dog quadrant. And the last one is dog, which is the iPad, which once upon a time was doing very well in the market, but today there is so much demand, and hence we see that it's in the dog quadrant. I will give you another example, classic example of the Nestle brand. So here once again we can see the Nescafe, the powder, the Maggi, the Milky Bar as well as the Kit Kat. Now once again I will be explaining to you in detail. However, have a look at the other example. I hope this example is very clear. So Nescafe powder is placed in the star quadrant, the question mark, the Kit Kat is placed in the question quadrant, question mark, the Maggi over here, and we have the Milky Bar in the dogs. If we go to the next example, so once again we have a lot of SKUs. So we can see the Maaza and the Kinley. They have been always a star, and they've been consistently performing. So there's a lot of funds to sustain them. We have seen Coke and Limca. They are the milk. They churn a lot of money for the management. We go to the next one, which is Sprite and Fanta, which comes in the question mark quadrant. Eventually, one of them will move into star or move into the dog quadrant, and we have the Minute Maid and the Diet Coke in the dog quadrant. Now what I have done is I have mentioned the two examples over there along with the description, and you should be able to correlate it very well. So if you see the Nescafe powder as well as the Maaza and the Kinley, they are the stars till date, and they are growing rapidly, but eventually they will slow down and they will move into the other quadrant of cash cows. In cash cow we see Maggi, we also see Coca-Cola and Limca. There is no much thought needs to be put on this. Through great commercial ads and the print ads what we have in place, we are able to do a good spike in the sales in these categories, and they churn a lot of money, and that's the reason it is also called as cash cows. And there is every tendency that they will sustain in the market for a very longer time because they have matured and garnered well in the market. The next one is the question marks. If you go at the top quadrant on the right hand side, we see the Kit Kat, we also see the Sprite and Fanta. Now over here we also see that these are doing substantially well, but over a period of time it might move into one of the quadrant. Now what they require is a lot of cash to hold their share, let alone increase it. So they are already in one kind of, it's a question mark even for the management, that in which quadrant this will eventually move. So which will eventually flourish as a star, or which will phase out and which will go into the top quadrant. The last and foremost and is the dogs. The dog quadrant is the low market growth and the low market share. Now they may generate enough cash to maintain themselves, but do not promise to large source of cash. So these have been almost phased out, so they are just sustaining in the market, but will definitely not survive over a long period of time. So they were once upon a time maybe star, or they might be even question mark, but today they have gone into the last quadrant of the dog. So with this example, I close on this BCG matrix. It's very simple. So we have the 4 quadrants. Once again, I will just recap. So we have the star, we have the question mark, the cow and the dog. You have the classic examples in your mind, and you should be able to correlate it very well. We have the relative market share and the market growth rate over here. And for easy identification and not to get confused on which thing falls in which quadrant. So I mean, it's easy that the animals are in the bottommost, the star over here and the question mark over there. We have the high relative market share, high market growth rate is always the star. The low relative market share and the high market growth rate is the question mark. The low market growth rate and the high market share is the curve, the cash cow, and the last is the low market growth rate and the low relative market share, and which is the top. So you have gone through each and every examples. It has been easy for you to correlate with all the 4 parameters. And with this we enter BCG matrix. Thank you so much.